What's up, everyone? My name is Chris, and I'm the poet that engineered fitness. We're here at Lazy Laowai, and our original host is in a bit of a predicament. He's here kind of working out right now. What is that? I'm going to need you to squat down just a bit more, straighten that back. You're going to pull with your elbows towards your back. Elbows to the back. Watch me. Here, here. Watch the elbows. Watch the elbows. That'll have to do.
Okay, so what's up, everyone? I'm with the consistent, dynamic, and ever-evolving Chris. Chris, what's up, man?
Not much. Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
Okay, so I really want to know about Lazy Laowai. Why did you name it Lazy Laowai, and what is your story? What's the story of your brand?
Well, Lazy Laowai, it all started about 2 years ago. Interesting story. Shenzhen's one of those places where you don't have too much to do. All of my friends usually kind of go out to the bars and they don't do too much other than work and drink, work hard, play hard kind of thing. So I did my research. I kind of looked around Shenzhen and I couldn't really find too much to do outside of that. And so I decided to do it myself. And so I started with just some simple things, hanging out in the park, playing basketball, going for runs, and it started to pick up. So eventually we started a group and it kept getting bigger and bigger, 10 people, 20 people, 50 people. And now we're at the point where we have 2 full groups of 500 people on WeChat. And now we started a 3rd group.
Wow. So why did you name it Lazy Laowai? I mean, what inspired the name?
So that's the funny part. Obviously, we're not lazy here. We do so many different things. But I wanted a catchy name, and it was because of the WeChat group I named it that, Okay. So when people see that name on WeChat, they're like, what is that all about? And then, the Chinese people, they always laugh and they get involved as well. So it's not just Laowai.
Oh, okay. And in your 2 years as a foreigner, what has this brand taught you? What has it taught you?
This brand has taught me one big thing actually about Shenzhen, and that is there's so much opportunity here. You can have one simple idea and that can blossom into something incredibly big. So we, as you know, we started as a group that just went outside and did different things, HIIT, yoga, rock climbing, etc. You name it, we've done it. And now we have this brick and mortar place. So just this one little idea has sprung into this huge entity.
And how did you come up with the idea to actually start a gym? Was it intended or you met a partner?
A few different reasons. It definitely was not intended in the very beginning, but after 6 to 7 months of starting Lazy Laowai, I think that idea kind of sprung up because I've always been into fitness, always been into the gym. And I met my partner that I currently work with in the gym when I first moved to Shenzhen up in Shili. And after 6 or 7 months of starting Lazy Laowai, we had the wheels started turning and the gears started grinding, and we said this could be something big.
All right. And as for you, oh man, I guess I should have started this from the start. Like, who is Chris? How did you come to China? And tell us all about your story.
Yeah, even crazier than how Lazy Laowai started. So yeah, my name is actually Krishna. It's Indian god, but Chris for short. I was born in Jamaica, but I spent most of my life in the U.S. And then I moved to Shenzhen a little over 3 years ago. The reason for coming here is because I actually wanted to work with international students. So previous to coming to Shenzhen, I worked in Boston as a program coordinator, doing study abroad programs with students all over the world, mostly China and Japan. And I kind of wanted to do that for myself. I've always wanted to be this kind of entrepreneur, real person. And so I came here and I tried to do that. I tried to learn as much as I can from China, because this is the place where most international students come from, to Boston. But it's, as you can imagine, more difficult than you would think, because parents just don't give you their children to take to another country, right? Yeah. And because of that, it was very difficult to kind of get that started. So I worked for a while for another company that did that, trying to learn. And then once you get here, like I said, there's so much opportunity. I moved over into coaching basketball and American football, which was kind of strange because it was less work than I was used to doing, but being paid more for some reason. because of the, I don't know, the foreigner face or what have you. But because of that opportunity, I kind of started segueing into sports. And then I started thinking more and more about Lazy Laowai and what that can become. And here we are now with the gym.
Okay, and what obstacles did you have to encounter to build this brand? Because, everything's a challenge.
Yeah, it's only been a little over 3 years, and no, I do not speak Chinese. So speaking Chinese is one of the biggest obstacles. But thankfully, I do have a really really good Chinese partner who is great at handling these things. Another obstacle is just getting the people to come to your brick and mortar. You can build it, the saying, if you build it, they will come. Not that true. However, it's been going pretty good for us over the last 3.5 months, and it's continuing to grow.
Okay, and I like that you mentioned a Chinese partner. How did you find a Chinese partner? Because everybody, I mean, foreigners are afraid to get Chinese partners, but what advice could you give to get the right Chinese partner?
So my partner, I met her pretty soon after arriving in Shenzhen, and it was actually at a gym up in Shili. But I've known her for quite some time. So maybe it was 7 or 8 months into arriving in Shenzhen when I met her, and then she actually became my partner years later, like 2.5 years later when Lazy Laowai actually started.
Okay, okay. And what makes your brand unique? I mean, there are many gyms in Shenzhen. I'm not trying to hate on you, but like there are many there are many gyms in Shenzhen. Like what unique preposition? Yeah, do you have?
Yeah, there are definitely many gyms in Shenzhen, and again, going back to when I first arrived in Shenzhen, I used to go to so many different gyms just to find the right one because I was really, really big on fitness, and I wanted to. Basically, I chose where I lived based on the apartment, but also based on whether or not I would be close enough to a quality gym. So I visited many, many gyms and did their free trial, 3 days, 7 days, whatever it was, and they're all pretty much the same.
Okay.
The run-of-the-mill equipment. Some gyms might have a pool, and the regular trainers. But here at Lazy Laowai, what we offer is something a little different, or a lot different, in my opinion. Most of our coaches, they're foreign. They speak English. Some of them, they speak different languages, German, Spanish. And also, we offer things outside of the gym. So like I said before, the rock climbing, the yoga, the Muay Thai, the boxing. We have a recovery class happening as we speak.
Don't worry, that fit.
We do a lot.
Yeah.
And we take requests from the group all the time, and if we haven't done it, we can try to do it.
Okay. And okay, so Shenzhen is not like any other city. It's a relatively new city. Can you say that your brand is multicultural? I mean, are you the first black person to do this? To actually have a gym in Shenzhen?
I can definitely say the brand is multicultural, but I don't believe I'm the first black person to have a gym in Shenzhen. I know one other guy. I was actually at his gym yesterday. His name is Travis. He owns a strongman gym. But other than him and myself, I don't believe there are any others, at least in Shenzhen.
And do you think culture is very integral, like for Shenzhen in its development? What do you think?
Yes.
Yeah.
Short answer is yes. Shenzhen, like you said, is one of those new places. It's definitely not a Beijing. It's definitely not a Shanghai. And the people that are here now, that were here 10 years before, that will be here 10 years in the future, they're going to continue to kind of help Shenzhen progress into what it's going to be in the future until it one day reaches that level of Beijing or Shanghai.
As an entrepreneur, I mean, you've been consistent for 3 years, but what advice would you like to give the up and coming entrepreneur who wants to start a gym, who wants to build a billion-dollar corporation, do anything? Like, what advice would you give them?
It's kind of a cliche, but hard work definitely pays off. It's incredible how much work you have to do to get from point A to point B. It's definitely not on the first day you're like, this is what I want to do, and then the next day it's happening. It's a long, long time, and it's countless days of.
It's consistency, commitment, and long days and long nights.
Exactly, very long.
Okay. What's the vision for the brand, Lazy Laowai?
The vision is to continue growing. However, I do not want Lazy Laowai. It's easier to answer this way, I think. I do not want Lazy Laowai to be a brand that kind of spreads out across China and becomes more like a chain, and you kind of lose the community, and people go there because they saw it on the internet or something. I don't want it to be that kind of popularity. I want it to be this close-knit community of people that know each other, and when you show up to the gym, it's kind of like, hey, how's it going? And if you don't show up to them, they're like, hey, where you been? That kind of thing.
Okay. So I think you need to show us some moves, man, because we can't just be seeing you talk. You know, actions speak louder than words. Are there any tips or workouts? Well, what do you call them?
Movements, exercises, yeah, several different names. What would you like to see? I mean, there's plenty of different things. Where are we going?
I don't know. You can just do something over here. Yeah.
All right, let's do some dumbbell stuff.
Yeah.
Are we still rolling?
Yeah. So just the basics for any new beginner who's a lazy Laowai, because I know there are plenty of you. These are basic tips. These are the first tips to get you fit, before you actually come here and pay for a subscription, right? Yeah. So, yeah.
What's up?
So you could give us some routines.
So I'll give you two movements. Two of the movements that we've been doing recently is one's called the snatch, and then one's going to be right behind the cameraman there. It's called a wall ball toss. So the snatch, you're going to stand with the dumbbell between your toes, and you're going to want to keep your chest upright. So if you're folding forward with your chest towards the ground, that's going to be no good. You're going to want to sink your butt down and keep your chest up. So a snatch, if you give me some room,
Okay.
it's going to look like this. So the first move is to stand up really nice and strong and be explosive with the legs. There. Second move, shoulder shrug. And the third move is to pull with the arm. So the entire thing looks like this.
Okay.
All right? Dumbbell snatch.
Nice.
Alternating dumbbell snatch.
And which part of the body does this?
Full body movement. So you're squatting with the legs, you're pushing with the legs, and you're moving with the arms. So it's all tightened through the core, legs, arms as well.
How many sets would you advise? Reps would you advise for one to take?
Depends on what you're doing. If you're trying to build muscle, keep the reps low, but higher weight. If you're trying to kind of do more of a cardio thing, lower weight, higher reps.
Okay. Give a number, man, because people would say reps are two reps per session.
Still depends on who you are. However, if you're going to build muscle, I'm going to go with 8 to 12. And then anything higher than that is just cardio. You're going to start to lose weight.
Okay, and would you like to take us around?
Sure.
Yeah.
So when you first walk into the gym, on your right here, you got your cable machine where you can do a bunch of different movements, just a regular pulley system here. Moving on, we have our Les Mills bars with various weights, just a nice piece of equipment to do some bar work with.
What's that?
So here we have a very interesting piece of equipment. It's called the Aqua Bag that was brought here by my... That's perfect. Well, you can do several different movements with that, but you can see it's called the Aqua Bag because it has some water in there, and that moves around and close enough. That moves around, and you kind of have to stabilize the muscles as the water moves around the bag. There you go. Yeah, you can. It's a big difference between a regular sandbag and having water kind of slosh around in it. What do you think?
I can actually feel it. This is good. I don't want to flex, I don't want to flex on television, so I'm gonna.
That's why you're wearing long sleeves?
Okay.
There you go. All right, moving along, we got our drop pads for the very strong athletes. These guys, they pick up weight over the head maybe, and they drop it on the ground. These things will protect our floor. And then we have our regular boxes for some box step-ups, box jumps, what have you. Same thing here. And then along this wall, we have some pieces of cardio equipment. Our cycles, and then followed by our assault bike, which is a great name for a piece of equipment that really, really gets the burn going. And then a piece of equipment that a lot of people really love, our Concept 2 rower. Great piece of cardio equipment. And that thing is a tank. It'll last a long time. So now I'm standing on the turf where we can do a lot of sled work, some battle rope work. Along the wall here we have our kettlebells. If you don't know anything about kettlebells, get to know some stuff about kettlebells. That's a great piece of fitness equipment. And in this corner, we have a plethora, I like to use that word, a plethora of different things that you can use, our hurdles, our ladders, our foam rollers for some recovery, some bands for some stretching. It's there. In this corner here, along the back wall, our beautiful new wooden wall that you can see in several different gyms. We have our wall balls for different movements, some wall ball tosses, some lateral wall ball tosses. On these walls, you can even do handstand push-ups. Won't damage the wall at all. Coming to the opposite wall here, we have our dumbbells, ranging all the way up to 40 kg if you're strong enough.
Wait, I have a question.
Yeah.
This wall, it reminds me of a rock climbing mountain. So why does it look this way, and how do you do exercises? Could you demonstrate something?
Sure. It looks this way because it's very durable. If you've seen these in any other gyms, they've decorated them, and we're going to do the same in the future. However, it's just like this for now. And some movements that you can do is like the wall ball toss, and I can demonstrate that. Yeah, sure. So you're going to stand arm's length away from the wall so you can get this close. Arm's length away. So if you put your arm out, that's how close you need to stand.
Okay.
And it's the movement I showed you just before. You can squat down with both hands under the ball, not to the side.
Squat.
Yep. There you go. Separate your feet. Yeah. And you're going to toss the ball up towards the higher line there. Let it bounce off the wall. As you catch it, you're going to squat down as you catch. Straight up, straight down. Oh, we'll edit that one out.
All right, okay. Let's see.
That's a heavy one. Close enough.
No, we can get that on camera. Okay.
All right. You want me to show you?
I'm not fit for this, but let the pro show us how it's done.
So what you want to do is keep your hands under
Yeah.
the ball the entire time.
Yeah.
All right. So when it comes down, you're never catching like this.
Okay.
Squat. Up.
All right. Okay. So that's how it's done, people. I mean, I'm not good at this. This is the expertise. It's why we pay experts to teach us how to do stuff. So, yeah. And is there anything else?
Yeah. So moving along, we have regular dumbbells. If you haven't seen dumbbells, you haven't been in the gym before.
Yeah.
Many different things you can do with dumbbells that range up to 40 kg, like I said. We do have some guys in here that are pretty strong, so we might have to get some heavier ones for them. And then another lovely piece of equipment, our slam balls. These things look super light, but they're super heavy. And yeah, slam them all over the gym for a nice cardio workout.
It's this exercise is like, when your boss pisses you off, just come to Lazy Laowai and you can slam as many balls as you want. Oh shit, that sounds nasty.
Many teachers, they come here and they say they're slamming because of some students that they're thinking about.
Oh damn.
I won't tell you the secret. A couple pieces of equipment here, some ab mats to keep that lumbar nice and straight while you're doing some sit-ups and things in that nature. Some steps for some cardio step-ups. Our multi-function piece of equipment here, this is a leg press as well as a hack squat, so you can just maneuver it and change it from a leg press into a hack squat.
That's pretty dope. Over here you have the showers, I'm guessing?
Yeah, we can check that out after we go here. We have our decline bench for some activities that you want to do as far as ab work, leg work. And then right next to that, we have some change plates. So if you're trying to come up with your PR, you can go up very, very slowly and advance that way.
Okay.
And then the piece that I love having in the gym, the rig. Many different things you can do here. So here at Lazy Laowai, we do have our circuits for compound lifts. Those lifts being deadlifts, squats, your back squat, and your bench press.
All right.
So we do have circuits of those, and then people that come here, they kind of work on that week after week, and then they have a PR, maybe a PR being a personal record.
Okay.
And then the bars above, you can do your pull-up work. TRX attachments in the corner behind you, our bars, our plates, and a random ball.
There are many balls in this gym. Now, there are 3 different questions you should ask yourself before starting a brand in China. Is the brand strong? is the brand committed, and do you have the right resources to actually execute the brand? Because it's one, I think, to have an idea, and it's another to execute. So Chris and Lazy Laowai demonstrated. Actually, I guess they asked themselves these three questions, and they were able to build their brand. What is the strength of their brand? Community. They focus on having an emotional connection with their clients. So it's not just about the gym, but it's about them building relationships with their audience, and people having the feel that fitness is a lifestyle. The Lazy Laowai quotation, I guess, comes from the fact that many foreigners in China are lazy. We have a 9 to 5 work plan every day. We go to work, and people constantly have burnout and exhaust this burnout through clubs and drinking, which is not a bad thing. But Chris is offering an alternative to create a healthy lifestyle and create great wellness for individuals. So this idea answers the first question: is it strength, and is it committed? The commitment comes in the strategy of how they placed everything. Like Chris said, for the last 3 years he's been going through obstacles, getting people to come, trying to build the brand, but he's been committed to his brand core values, which is trying to create a healthy environment for people. Do they have the right resources? Now, resources in the beginning of a business is difficult, but I guess the greatest resource is human resource. I like the fact that Chris has got 3 groups running. People don't actually know it, but groups are actually a good resource, and we cannot undervalue groups, because marketing has shifted from being a push kind of thing, a pull kind of thing, to a push kind of thing. So the fact that he's got ongoing groups is one resource, but for him to be able to create the capital and actually have the right human resource to build this business with just showcased how they answered the first 3 questions that I mentioned in the video. So Lazy Laowai is an example of a brand that was able to answer these questions and has been triumphant in its quest to, I guess, create a healthy lifestyle and build a community full of people that love the vibe that they're creating. So we gave the air to the voice to Chris, and yeah. So I'm here with Chris with a C, right?
Chris with a C.
Chris with a C. So
Maybe.
could you please introduce yourself and tell us, what do you love about Lazy Laowai?
Sure. Yeah, so my name is Chris, CHRS, and I am the head coach and programmer here at Lazy Laowai. Yeah. And what I love about this place is really, biggest thing is the community. I think what's really important for places like this, especially where there's a lot of foreigners, is finding a place kind of like a home away from home, where most foreigners, either they go home or they go to work, or they go out, and when they're at their free time, they try to fill it with something of value. So we try to do that in 2 ways. Number one, creating value for your health and for your well-being through these exercises and through this training and being able to develop your strength and conditioning. And number two, finding people that you can relate with, maybe people that you've already known, and you bring them here to connect through sport. And otherwise, people that you might have not met otherwise because you're maybe from different backgrounds. So being able to connect together and sweat together, suffer together a little bit, and then hang out here and find ways to hang out outside of here. We've been seeing that a lot too. As you know, Lazy Laowai started as a community of foreigners and locals to have common ground, doing HIIT classes, bowling, playing at trampoline parks, doing all these other things, and now we have our own facility to have our own training program. And yeah, it's all just one place to build a community and to maintain it and grow it, and all those things we just really love.
Community building, and that's what we're about. Tribalness. Do you have a tribal theme?
Tribal theme? I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of yelling and screaming, but that's probably not intentional.
Okay. So this is Chris with a C, right?
Chris with a C.
Chris with a C. Lazy Laowai, you know what to do. Okay, so there you have it. This is the amazing Lazy Laowai. And Chris, is there anything motivational you'd like to say to our viewers? Something that can inspire them to create something, wait for it, that is godly. You see that? Do you see that?
Yeah. Something motivational for the people. Okay. I think that especially in a place like Shenzhen, if you have a solid goal that you can set for yourself today, 1 week in the future, a year from now, 5 years from now, and you're very consistent at it, and you take it as a motivational kind of thing, you can definitely achieve that.
Okay, so that was the interview with the amazing Chris and Lazy Laowai. I'm really grateful for having the opportunity to be here. You know, this is very inspirational stuff. If you're somebody with dreams, it's amazing. If you're somebody who's black, it's amazing to see another black entrepreneur doing something. Yeah, so we gave the air to the voice to Lazy Laowai. And thanks for everyone for tuning in. Like, subscribe. Man, I need more subscribers. Like, pump me up.
Subscribe, man. This is the guy. If you don't know this guy, you haven't lived in Shenzhen very long. He's all over the place. Subscribe.
Okay, yeah, so thank you everyone, and we gave the air to the voice to Chris. So Zaijen, peace. How do you say bye in Jamaica?
Bye bye.